Hey, welcome to today's daily walk. Our walk started a little bit later today. So I just thought of an amazing analogy that I'm so excited to share with everyone. And it's the analogy of a puzzle. So I recently got confronted with putting together a puzzle. I just thought it was so cool. And then I'm like, you know what? This really relates to my life and my growth with God. Like I used to think like to complete myself at one point in life, it was like if I got real ripped and big and muscular, like that would satisfy this void, that would complete this picture. And, I'd pray to God, help me win the show. And, it really didn't do much. You'd have, it's a fun sport. You get on stage. But, the chasing that physique really didn't complete any of the puzzle. So then it's like, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to chase money and I'm going to make a lot of money. And that will complete this puzzle. That will put all these broken pieces together. So I went and did that and it didn't work. And finally, like at the age of, I don't know, maybe 36, I'm sitting there, I'm divorced, I'm broke. All these pieces of the puzzle, it's just none of it coincided like I wanted it to. And, I'm like, Jesus, what is the problem here? All these pieces, And what I realized, and at one point I was like, why should I follow you at all? Look, it's all these pieces up to me. I got to put them together. And you know what he said? He said, you know what? When someone starts a puzzle, why do they continue the puzzle? Putting pieces together. Because they see the final product, right? They see that when you put these 1,000 pieces together, it's going to make this picture of whatever it is. And we believe that, and that's why we never give up putting the pieces together. So that's kind of what Jesus does in my life, maybe in your life too, is when the pieces are all broken, he gets us to keep putting them together because he sees the final product. We don't see the final product. We just see, we tried this, it didn't lead to long-term joy. We tried this, it didn't lead to long-term joy. Jesus, just like we can look at a puzzle, he looks at us and says, this is your capacity. This is what I made you for. So when we want to just forget about it, we want to just say, you know what, these pieces aren't fitting together. We're frustrated. Just like building a real puzzle, you get frustrated. He's the one that calms us if we go to him, if we go to him as the coach. When the puzzle just doesn't look right. Like when you build puzzles, when you first start, people are looking at it and they're like, man, that doesn't even look right. Is that even supposed to be a picture? So we get criticized from the outside because what we're working on doesn't look right. It doesn't look like right to us. We start second guessing us. Now we have anxiety. Are we doing the right things? Who do we go to when we have that anxiety? We go to Jesus, right? We go to him because he knows the final product. And he's like, hey, my plan for you is different than my plan for them. They just don't understand my plan for you. Keep building. Keep putting pieces together. Keep putting pieces together. And sometimes, we go through life. I mentioned my divorce where I tried to put some pieces together that they didn't fit. So I tried to force them to fit, and then it all crumbled down and the whole puzzle like crumbled. And I'm like, why am I even building this stupid puzzle? This is dumb. This is frustrating. Who do you go to in that situation? You go back to the Creator. That is the whole point of building this puzzle that we have. And a lot of times it's not going to look right. It's not going to fit right. And it's going to be frustrating, right? I mean, it's super frustrating. Doing even like an earthly puzzle is super frustrating, especially those 1,000 pieces, But when you have that coach, I call Jesus my coach, when you have that person to go to, he's going to be the one to redirect your purpose. He's going to be the one to keep you focused on that puzzle. He's going to be the one to get you through those valleys when people aren't understanding why you're building this puzzle, why you're building this life. He will be the one that is kind of your redirector, okay? He'll also be the one to hold you accountable. When you just walk away from your puzzle and you say, I'm just so broke. I'm so broke. There's no way anyone can fix this. He's going to put people in your life, helpers. He's going to be in your life. He's going to be carrying you through those tough times, saying, you know what? I understand that you feel broken. I understand that you feel hopeless. Let me carry you. Let these people that I put in your life carry you. So we're all that puzzle. We're all that puzzle that's broken, different pieces. Some of us can't see, like sometimes I just can't see the future. I'm like, how does this all come together? When we trust and we follow him, we're going to be looking back at a life of a completed puzzle, a completely completed puzzle. And we're going to be like, yes, high-fiving Jesus and being like, he has that final picture in his realm, in his mind. And he wants us to lead us as close as we can to that final picture as we're here on earth. So every single one of us is a puzzle. We all have missing pieces. We all have, well, the pieces aren't missing. We all have pieces that aren't coming together. It all seems like we have missing pieces. You know, when you're doing an earthly puzzle, sometimes you do lose a piece. It's on the floor somewhere, or it's in your vacuum, and you gotta find it. So we do have missing pieces. But if we're following the director, if we're following God, if we're following Jesus, he's gonna help us put those pieces together. And what's really cool on that journey, yeah, there's gonna be frustration. Yeah, it's gonna stink sometime. Yeah, there's gonna be like feelings of hopelessness, but it's also pretty cool. Just like an earthly puzzle, when you put a piece together, it's like, oh, wow, cool, you feel accomplished. You're growing. You might even share that with someone else, be like, hey, I'll put this piece together. You know, and then maybe you invite some other people that you really trust that are also following Christ, and you invite them into your puzzle and be like, hey, can you help me put some pieces in? And now they're helping you. You know, asking for help. Asking godly people for help is a good analogy that you can use as far as building your puzzle. So now you're growing, you're asking for help, you're contributing because people love to help. So it's just such an amazing analogy that I'm glad I was confronted with this past weekend. And that's something that I really want all of us to think about in 2021. What does our puzzle look like? Are we excited about putting some pieces? Because we're all broken. Every single one of us is broken. Some in heart, some in soul. We're all broken in some way or another. But are we willing to journey with Christ moving forward to get that brokenness a little bit more whole? One piece at a time. So that would be my challenge for all of you, to just take that hand, extend it out to Jesus and say, hey, let's do this. Let me, please help me, Jesus, in putting some of these pieces together, and we're all gonna be that much more whole as we enter into 2021 and beyond. You guys have a great growth-driven rest of your day.